Today we are going to make delicious creamy ricotta cheese right here in a simple kitchen. You will be pleasantly surprised at how easy this really is, so let's start with the milk that you will be using. There are different ways to make ricotta cheese, from milk or from sweet whey. Today we will be using raw milk, but you can use any milk other than ultra pasteurized milk. This is a great way to use up extra milk when it's getting close to souring, so you don't feel like you have to give it to the chickens or waste it. Instead, you'll turn it into a delicious cheese that you can use in so many recipes. You want to be sure to shake well to mix the cream before pouring it into a thick bottom pot. You will then turn the stove up to medium heat and begin giving it a little bit of a mix. This is such a simple recipe. All you need is milk, some type of acid like vinegar or lemon juice, and salt. So as the milk is heating on the stovetop, your main job is to visit it regularly, giving it a stir. Some recipes you will see that it says to stir continually. I just visit it every minute or two and just give it a quick stir while I'm doing other things in the kitchen. I really enjoy this recipe because it's slow, stress-free, and you can get other things done, like getting some bread made in the background, starting on your dinner, and things like that. So as you can see here, we're starting to get a little steamy, so I'm going to go ahead and check that temperature again, and it is just below 200 degrees, which is what we're looking for. We want it to get about 200 degrees. 180 to 200 is an acceptable range. A little bubbly, but not boiling. Once it gets to the desired temperature, we will pull it off of the hot stove and add in our acid. We are going to add in 6 tablespoons of this apple cider vinegar. You can also use lemon juice if you choose. There's also the option to use citric acid, but I prefer to use a vinegar or a lemon juice since I always have those things on hand in the kitchen. So after you add in your acid, give it a little slow mix, put the top on, and let it sit for 10 minutes on a cool surface. While that sits and the curds start to form, I will get everything ready to begin straining. There are a lot of different ways that you can strain your cheese. I like to start with a big stock pot and a colander and put a cheesecloth on top of that. I cannot find my cheesecloth today, so I'm using a nut milk bag. These organic cotton nut milk bags are great for yogurt and other things that I do in the kitchen, so I'm going to give it a try with this ricotta cheese for the first time today. And here you can see those curds are forming nicely. If you get to this point and you feel like it's not enough curds for your liking, or you thought there would be more, you can put it back on the stovetop, heat it back up to 200, and add in another tablespoon or 2 of acid, and repeat the process of cooling it for 10 minutes covered, and come back and see if more curds have formed for you. So the next step is to get everything straining. So you could do this by spooning everything in or pouring it all in at once. You can make a huge mess like me. All of the above is acceptable. You could also use a straining spoon to spoon it out, so you can leave some of the whey in the pot behind and reduce your straining time. So we're going to get this cinched up. You can see some of that whey is already straining off beautifully. Hanging from a cabinet handle in your kitchen is a good way to help the straining process so that it's not all sitting in the colander. You can leave it hanging here for 2 to 4 hours as that whey strains off. Today I did not have 2 to 4 hours, so I started it out here by letting it strain and then realized I needed to get things moving a little bit quicker. I also feel that a cheesecloth would have strained a little bit better. The nut milk bag is a little denser and things don't strain off as quickly. I will link everything I'm using here today down in the description below. If you just click more, you can see everything that I'm linking as well as the recipe to make this cheese. So as you can see, it's only been about an hour. I am still able to squeeze a lot of whey off of this, so Since I can't find my cheesecloth, we are going to move over to my kefir strainer. I'm going to pour everything directly into that. It's a very fine mesh strainer, works really great for kefir. It's actually plastic and not metal, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of help and strain some of that additional whey off in the kefir strainer. So you came along with me on a little experiment today using this nut milk bag for the first time. Not everything works. It's a lot of trial and error when you're making all of your ingredients from scratch at home, and I just want to let you know that that's okay. None of us know it all. Maybe our 100-year-old grannies do, but as for me, I'm only a 5-year-old homemaker, since that is the age of my oldest child. So yeah, we're all learning together here and just exploring and experimenting, and I just don't want to edit things out that don't turn out perfectly so you can see what it's really like in the kitchen when you're making these things. So there you have it, some beautiful, creamy, delicious ricotta. At this point, I will mix in my salt. You can do that before while it's cooking, but I prefer to do it afterwards. This made just enough ricotta cheese for my lasagna recipe. I will link my make one, freeze one lasagna video below if you're interested in checking that out. I hope this video inspired you to get in the kitchen and make your own ricotta cheese after seeing how simple and easy that it really is. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I make a video every week in the kitchen. See y'all next time.